Hi guys, how are y'all doing? So we have a very special unboxing today, and it's not only because it's a Rolex unboxing, it is a very special piece of Rolex that we are going to unbox. Now the reason why it's so special is because I know people who are Rolex VIPs that have waited 3 to 4 years for this piece, and yet they are still not offered this piece. Now I waited about a week to get offered this piece. So if you want to know how to get offered a Rolex or how to get your hands on a Rolex, I will go ahead and explain to you my journey on how I got 2 Rolexes within a span of 5 months. Now, before we get to the unboxing, I just want to show you guys the little gift that my SA got me. So it's a very, very simple gift. It's just a Rolex hat. So on one side of it is stitched with the Rolex, and the other side is the same thing, stitched with the Rolex. And on the back it is a Velcro, and it just has this Rolex symbol on it, and that's it. So it's a very, very simple plain hat, very minimalistic. Now without further ado, let's get to the unboxing. And if you guys want to know how to get your hands on a Rolex, if you guys don't care what it is, or if you guys just want to know what my journey was and how I met my SA and how we connected and how I was offered this piece, then stay tuned after the unboxing and I will go ahead and explain to you guys my journey. All right, let's get started. All right guys, so when you purchase your Rolex piece, it always comes in this box with kind of like a smooth sleeve. Now when you turn it, it will always have a sticker with the model number of the particular piece that you purchased. Now let's slide it out. And this is your Rolex box. So the Rolex crown is kind of embossed on the top of this box. I think you guys can see it, right? All right, now let's open up the box. And usually your SA will keep your receipt right here in this envelope. And then is the gorgeous green box. You open the flap on the bottom. It does say Rolex right here. And if you open up the box, now, ta-da! So you have your watch right here, and this is the tag that it came with. And if you need some links taken out, usually your SA will leave your links right here in the bag with you. Now on the back of the box is a little opening right here. Now inside will be your warranty card, and on the back of the warranty card will be your serial number and the date that you purchased it. And then there will be a little kind of manual. All right, so let's take out the watch so that I can show you guys. Okay, so as you guys can tell, this is a Submariner date. And the reason why it's called Submariner date is because there is the date right here. Now, you could get it without the date, but then you won't be able to get it in this beautiful blue dial, this beautiful blue face. So the way you open up a Submariner is a little bit different than the date just. You have to open the little clasp right here, and then you will be able to open up the bigger clasp right here. And that's how you open it. Now, just looking at the Submariner, there are kind of these little dials on the side that you can turn it. I do believe that has something to do with diving, but I can't be quite sure. Now on the side where the crown is, you do have your Rolex symbol right here. Now, if you take a look at the inside of this Rolex, you will see that it does say Rolex, 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 Rolex all around. And then when you get to the bottom, there will be your serial number right there on the bottom. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the watch. So on the side right here, on your clasp, it will say Rolex, Geneva, and then it will say Swiss made. Now the cool thing about the Submariner is, if you take a look at your notch right here, right, you can actually pull this out and then you can adjust it, and that will give you about an extra 1 to 2 links. So in the summertime, your wrist does swell up and expand a little bit, so you might need a little bit more room. And in the wintertime, your wrist is going to swell up. It's going to, get a little bit smaller, so you will need less room. So this, instead of removing and adding links all the time, you can go ahead and adjust your strap to the size of your wrist at that particular season. Now, another cool thing about the Submariner is if you actually turn off all the lights and you're in a dark space, the little dials are actually glow in the dark. So you will always be able to tell time. So the hands are also glow in the dark, and the little dials are also glow in the dark. So that's something that's really, really cool about this particular piece. Now the blue, again, only comes in this two-tone color with the oyster steel and the gold, or it will be all gold for the strap. I particularly chose the two-tone because the gold was a little bit too heavy and it was just not going to be very fun to wear if you're wearing for a long period of time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the unboxing, and what a special piece, right? It takes my breath away every single time I look at it, and I hope you like the unboxing. Now, if you made it this far, it means that you're pretty curious on how I was offered this piece in such a short period of time. So let's get started on my journey. My journey started back in February of 2023, yes, this year. And growing up, I've always known that I wanted a Rolex piece. It was just one of those things that everybody was talking about. It was like a little status symbol. It was just the crown, right? We all want that crown. So anyways, I've been looking for about 6 months prior to this. Me and my co-workers were all looking through it, taking our pick of which ones we like. Now, I knew that I wanted the date just with the pink face with the diamond in it. Not the diamond all around it, but just a diamond on the 6 and the 9, I believe. And I knew I wanted with the fluted bezel and the Jubilee bracelet. So that photo of that watch was saved into my phone. So when we went to Vegas, we were living in the Caesar's Palace, and in Caesar's Palace there is a forum shop, and inside the forum shop there was a Rolex store. So for about 2 or 3 days straight, every single day I was going to that Rolex store, showing them the picture that I want and trying to see if they had that piece. And every single day they didn't have that piece. So I was looking to see if there were any other Rolex stores. Yes, there are quite a few Rolex stores in Las Vegas, and every single store gets a few pieces a day. So if you guys are not very picky on which Rolex watch to get, then Vegas is definitely your place to go. They have Rolex pieces all the time, but they are just the date just or the date. I'm sure they get other pieces like the Yachtmaster or the Daytona or my Submariner and things like that, but they get a very limited quantity, and they have a long, extensive wait list for people to, of people who want those pieces. But the Date Day and the Date Just is a very common watch that they get a mass amount of. So if you're not very picky in what Date Day or Date Just you want, head over to Vegas. 100% you will be able to get your hands on one. No wait time. It might not be the one that you specifically want, but like I said, if you're not very picky, go ahead to go to Vegas. There is a Rolex store in the Wynn or Encore. I think it's the Wynn. There is one in Caesar's Palace, and there is one in Aria. There are also like not Rolex stores, but stores that have like multiple brands in there. And those are, I think there's like about 3 of them. So 100% you'll be able to get your hands on one of them. But anyways, back to my story. So I knew I wanted the pink face. So after 3 strikeouts in Caesar's Palace, I said, you know what? Let me take my shot in Aria. Now, as I was heading out to Aria, it started to hail, just absolute hail. And there was no way to get to Aria. So I went back into my hotel. I waited about 2 or 3 hours until the hailing subsided, and I made my way into Aria. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And it just so happened that that 3-hour delay made me meet my SA. And walking in, you know, into Rolex store, I've always felt intimidated because they always scan you from head to toe. It's like, listen, everybody does that. Whenever you walk into a luxury store, they always scan you from head to toe. But anyways, my SA just introduced himself. He didn't scam me. Maybe he did, I'm not sure, but he just introduced himself. He asked me what I was looking for. And I showed him a picture of the piece that I was looking for. And, you know, I was very, very nice. I said, hey, I'm looking for this piece in particular. Do you happen to have it? And I said, I've been looking, you know, in Caesar's Palace for a few days, and I haven't been successful. He took a look at my picture, and he said, let me see what I can do for you. So he went to the back, and he came out with my piece. But there was one difference. I wanted the Jubilee bracelet. He only had the Oyster bracelet. And I tried it on, and I was like, it's really not the one that I want. But it was basically 80% of the way there. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take it. And he said, okay, then it's yours. And I paid, and, you know, we talked a little bit. He asked me where we were from, what we were doing here. And we were just like, hey, yeah, we're just here for the Super Bowl viewing party. We're from New York, but Vegas is our second home. We come here so often. And then I was like, we'll be back in June for the WSOP. And he was like, oh, that's so cool. So I bought my piece, and I left. Now, come June, when I went back to Vegas, I went back to visit him. And he said, oh, hey, I remember you. I said, yeah. He said, what brings you back? I said, well, I did tell you I was coming back for the World Series of Poker event. And he said, what can I do for you? I said, well, I'm looking for a few pieces. And he said, yeah, sure. What pieces are you looking for? So I texted him the few pieces that I was looking for, and he said, how long are you in town for? I said, about 2 weeks. And he said, no problem. I will do my best, and rest assured you'll be leaving here with another piece. So I think what started this whole relationship was the fact that we were just very nice to each other, very kind. And I think he really liked the fact that we went back to him, because Vegas is such a tourist attraction. They don't really see many faces twice, because nobody really goes back to Vegas as often as you think. You go there once, maybe a few years, but to us, Vegas was our second home. So I think the fact that we were able to connect, we were very nice to each other, and I went back to him, it kind of like was like, I think it triggered something in his mind, like, oh, they're not loyal just to the brand. They are loyal to me. And as a sales rep, loyalty is like, it's like everything, right? You want someone to go back to you time and time and time again. So not only does that show that you trust that person, it also shows that you and them have a bond together, right? And that bond is amazing. What that means is every time you need something, you can rely on them to get the work done. So I think that's why he offered this piece to me. And I'm sure there are many other people who, wrote their name down on an index card with their wish list. But I think the fact that I went back to him and was just kind to him, and I think the day that I went back, he had a client, and I waited about an hour and a half outside the Rolex store just for him to be available. I think the patience and the kindness and the loyalty, that's what a salesperson is looking for. And if you can kind of prove to them or show them that sense of security and loyaltiness, I think you will have a really good relationship, and whatever you need, they will try their best to get it for you. So that's my journey. And I hope you guys will be just as lucky as me getting the pieces that you want. But that's my journey. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to my story. And I will see you guys next time. So I have quite a few more unboxings. So please do consider subscribing and stay tuned. Bye guys. Alright guys, so check this out. Look, they have my Rolex on a huge poster. How gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous, and this poster is doing it justice. That blue is so vibrant. It definitely captures the blue that is on the watch. So stunning, so gorgeous. It is a little big if you're a female, but I think that it is a very statement-y piece, and you can definitely get away with it. But the blue is an absolute gorgeous blue if you do like blue. And so here we have a poster with the GMT Master. I think this is what I am going to go for next. I did tell my essay that this or the Yacht Master or the Sky Dweller will be next. And he said that he will make it happen for me. But I don't like this color combination, so obviously I will get in a different color combination. But just such a gorgeous piece. Absolutely gorgeous.